The rising crisis of suicide is no longer a hidden epidemic. It is a deafening cry of suffering echoing across nations, cultures, and age groups. With over 700,000 souls lost to suicide each year globally, we are witnessing a spiritual emergency of staggering proportions. Suicide claims a life every 40 seconds, while millions more suffer silently in despair, many of whom attempt to end their pain without support or recognition. The situation is even more dire among young people, where suicide is now the fourth leading cause of death among those aged 15 to 29 worldwide. These numbers are not abstract. They represent children of the divine, vessels of potential, lost in the shadows of emotional torment and spiritual separation. This crisis is not only about mental illness, it is about a world failing to mirror back the sacredness of those who feel forgotten. In the United States, the numbers paint an even graver picture. In 2023 alone, over 49,500 individuals took their own lives, an all-time high in recorded history. Suicide ranks as the 11th leading cause of death, but the wounds it inflicts ripple far beyond numerical rank. Men account for nearly 80% of suicides, though women attempt suicide more frequently, suggesting that the masculine path of suffering is often silenced by stigma and societal expectations. Populations such as LGBTQ+ youth face suicide attempt rates that are 4 times higher than their peers. Veterans, often scarred by war and spiritual dislocation, make up 14% of suicides while comprising only 6% of the population. These are not statistical errors. They are indictments against a system that has failed to honor the soul's cry for connection, meaning, and restoration. What these numbers truly reveal is the profound disconnection from divine identity and communal affirmation. In many suicide cases, mental health disorders such as depression, PTSD, bipolar disorder, or substance abuse are prevalent, yet treatment often ignores the spiritual void. The absence of sacred purpose, the loss of hope, and the collapse of inner light are just as devastating as clinical diagnoses. Today's institutions offer clinical remedies but rarely offer spiritual resurrection. This is the realm in which the chosen ones in the TNT Initiative must rise, to build new sanctuaries of healing, divine purpose, and unconditional love. We must remind every soul that they are more than a diagnosis. They are the embodiment of divine design, inherently worthy of life. In response, the TNT Initiative proposes a transformational model of intervention, the creation of spiritual healing life renewal centers, known as the House of Return. These sacred spaces will integrate mental wellness with spiritual restoration, offering divine counsel, energy healing, creative therapy, rest sanctuaries, and communal affirmation for the weary soul. Additionally, the formation of a Divine Resurgence Task Force will ensure that suicide prevention is not handled reactively, but proactively and prophetically. Campaigns such as the Voice of the Voiceless will further destigmatize suicide survival and glorify stories of overcoming darkness. This model recognizes suicide not just as a social problem, but as a sacred emergency requiring divine recalibration. Ultimately, the suicide crisis is a wake-up call for humanity to return to reverence, for life, for spirit, and for one another. We must cultivate a culture where pain is acknowledged, vulnerability is honored, and sacredness is never forgotten. The work begins now. With every statistic, we confront the truth that our collective neglect has allowed darkness to grow. But by divine decree and sacred will, we now commit to reversing the tide. Let every child of the Creator know this. You are not alone, your life is holy, and there is a place for you in the rising world of light. The dawn will come, and we shall make sure of it. TNT Initiative, our race's universal hope.